Alien Warrior's Plea. Please buy me human. A heart-stopping. Nobody screamed when the war reached Cole Rean. That was the first strange thing. Wars usually came with alarms, explosions, or last words spoken too late. This one arrived as a quiet error message blinking on his navigation screen. Route failure, manual reset required. Cole stared at the display and sighed. Of course, he muttered. Carrick's station burned outside his cockpit windows. 3 suns turned the moon's surface into a furnace. His ship's cooling system rattled like it wanted to quit forever. The Meridian's gambit was old, older than some colonies. She had survived pirates, bad deals, worse repairs, and 15 years of her captain's stubborn refusal to die. But the nav computer was what finally betrayed him. Cole descended the ramp, heat slamming into him like a wall. Sweat formed instantly. Carrick's did not care. Carrick's never cared. It sold suffering by the kilogram and called it trade. The fuel depot should have been a straight walk. Instead, the error had dropped him 3 bays off target. Between him and fuel stood the market. The slave market. Cole stopped. For 15 years, he had avoided places like this. Not because he was brave, because he was tired. Tired of choosing between survival and guilt. Walk fast, he told himself. Eyes forward. The market was alive. Voices clashed in dozens of languages. Chains clinked softly. Energy fields hummed. The smell was wrong. Fear mixed with spice and burned metal. Pens lined the path like cages in a zoo built by monsters. Cole did not look inside them. He focused on the distant glow of the fuel sign. A voice cried out. Not loud, not begging, just clear. Please buy me human. Cole stopped. The crowd shifted, annoyed. Business continued. He turned. She stood chained in the center pen. Blue skin that caught the light like deep water. Golden hair tangled but unbroken. Long, sharp ears marked her as Cathian, a warrior species, a defeated one. She stood straight, calm, watching him like she had already decided something important. Their eyes met. Cole felt something lock into place inside his chest. A merchant appeared instantly, smelling opportunity. Rare find, the Hurlon said eagerly. Storm Lance of the 3rd Fleet, tactical mind, combat trained, loyal. Cole barely heard him. How much? Cole asked. The number hurt. They argued. They settled. Cole paid. The chip burned in his hand. The chains came off the platform. The war followed him onto his ship. Inside the cargo bay, Cole released the restraints immediately. You're free, he said. There's a shuttle station nearby. The Cathian woman tilted her head. I go where you go now, Captain. Cole stared. No, I don't own people. You purchased my freedom. That creates a life debt. I don't want a soldier. That is inefficient. She looked around his ship, messy, patched, alive. You already need one. 3 days later, the ship ran better than it had in years. Systems repaired, cargo organized, problems solved before Cole noticed them. The woman moved with quiet control. Her name was Thissa. Cole finally confronted her in the galley. You didn't ask me to buy you. You chose me. Yes. Why? She told him about the war, about the fall, about weapons caches hidden across the frontier, about the syndicate hunting her. You manipulated me, Cole said. I survived. The proximity alarm screamed. 3 ships appeared on the scanner, fast, armed, hunting. Thissa moved to the co-pilot seat without hesitation. They are not here for cargo. They are here for me. Cole's quiet life ended in that second. The war did not start with explosions. It started with a choice. Inhumans were very dangerous when they chose not to walk away. The one who chose a human. The first thing Cole Rean noticed was the silence. Not the good kind, the dangerous kind. The Meridian's gambit was never quiet. It hummed, rattled, complained. Old ships did that. Silence usually meant something had gone wrong.
Cole stepped into the corridor, hand already near the wall panel. Then he saw it. The sparking plasma conduit, the one that had been broken for 6 months, was fixed. No sparks, no warning lights. "What the hell?" Cole whispered. He followed the sound of movement into the cargo bay. Thissa was there. She stood among open panels and scattered tools, moving with calm purpose. Her long ears twitched slightly as she worked. She didn't look surprised to see him. "You should not leave power conduits unstable. They fail at inconvenient times." "I was getting to it," Cole replied. She glanced at him. "You were not." He opened his mouth to argue, then closed it. She was right. By the end of the day, more things had changed. Cargo lists were organized, fuel usage optimized, navigation routes corrected, even the air filters smelled cleaner. Cole sat in the cockpit that night, staring at the stars, trying to understand how a woman he had freed 3 days ago was now running his ship better than he ever had. He didn't like it. He also didn't hate it. They barely spoke, not because of anger, because both were waiting. Finally, Cole couldn't take it anymore. "We need to talk," he said in the galley. Thissa looked up from the food processor. "We are talking. You know what I mean." He poured 2 cups of terrible coffee and slid one towards her. She sniffed it. "This beverage is aggressive. Welcome to my life." She sat. Cole leaned against the counter. "Who are you really?" She did not answer right away. Outside the viewport, stars drifted by as the ship moved through faster-than-light space. "I was a commander," she said finally. "Stormlance of the Cathian Third Fleet." Cole froze. Cathian fleet commanders didn't end up in slave markets by accident. "We fought the sovereignty for 3 years," she continued. "We lost." "I know," Cole said quietly. "You know headlines, not hunger, not fire, not the sound of cities dying." She paused. "When our worlds fell, survivors were taken, warriors were sold, knowledge became currency." Cole felt something cold settle in his chest. "You chose me," he said. "Yes." "Why?" Thissa met his eyes. "Because you did not look." Cole frowned. "That doesn't make sense." "It does," she said. "Predators always look." She explained how she had watched buyers for weeks, slavers, collectors, criminals, all eager, all smiling. Then Cole walked past the pens without looking inside. "I accessed your public records," she admitted calmly. 15 years of cargo runs, no slave transport, no trafficking. Cole exhaled slowly. "You manipulated me." "Yes." No shame, no apology. "I needed someone stubborn," she continued, "someone who would help even when it was inconvenient." "And if I hadn't?" Cole asked. "Then I would have died." The ship shook slightly as it adjusted course. Cole rubbed his face. "You know, Q years ago my biggest problem was bad coffee." "And now?" Thissa asked. "I'm carrying the key to a galactic arms vault." She almost smiled. "Do you regret buying me?" she asked. Cole didn't answer right away. He thought of the market, the chains, her voice. "I regret the universe that made it necessary," he said finally, "not the choice." Thissa studied him closely. "That is a very human answer. I've been told." The scanner lit up again. This time, 3 contacts. Fast. Closing. Thissa stood. "They have confirmed us." Cole gripped the controls. "Running won't work forever." "No," she agreed. "Eventually, we will have to stop." "That's not comforting." "It is honest." The Meridian's gambit trembled as Cole pushed power to the engines. "You know what scares them most?" Cole asked. Thissa looked at him.
"Humans," he said. "We don't plan centuries ahead. We don't care about balance. When we choose someone, we don't let go." Thissa's eyes softened just a little. "Then they made a mistake," she said. "Yeah," Cole replied. "They messed with the wrong human." The distance between the ships closed. Weapons powered up. The war that began with a quiet error message was about to turn very loud. The smile of the syndicate. The woman smiled before she spoke. That was how Rean knew this was bad. People who planned violence usually shouted.
People who were confident smiled. She stood at the entrance of the cargo bay like she belonged there. Plain clothes, neutral colors, nothing that marked her as dangerous. That was the most dangerous thing about her. "Captain Rean," she said calmly, "interesting ship you have." Cole didn't stop loading cargo. He kept his movements slow and normal. "Station security usually announces themselves," he replied. "Oh, I'm not security," the woman said. "I represent business interests." Behind Cole, Thissa went very still. Cole felt it immediately, like the air had changed. The woman's eyes moved across the cargo bay. Crates, tools, open panels. Then they landed on Thissa. "A Cathian," the woman said. "Rare to see one alive these days." Cole stepped slightly in front of Thissa without thinking. "She's my navigation specialist." The woman smiled wider. "Of course she is." That smile didn't reach her eyes. "I work for the Tivon syndicate. We track valuable things." Cole shrugged. "Then you're in the wrong bay. I haul medical supplies." "I'm sure," the woman said, "but sometimes valuable things walk instead of fly." Her gaze stayed on Thissa. The silence stretched. Thissa spoke first. "I believe you are mistaken," she said evenly. "I have been employed by Captain Rean for 6 months." Cole almost looked at her. Almost. The woman tilted her head. 6 months? "Yes. And before that?" "Cargo routing on Purr's station." Thissa's voice did not shake. Her ears did not twitch. Cole realized something then. She had practiced this. The woman studied her like a puzzle. "Interesting," she said, "because we are searching for a former Cathian military officer. Carries information that belongs to us." Cole's heart slowed. He had learned this lesson long ago. Panic kills. "I don't know anything about that," Cole said. "If you're done, I need to finish loading." The woman's smile faded just a fraction. "Of course," she said, "just doing our due diligence." She turned to leave, then paused. "Be careful in frontier space, Captain," she added lightly. "Things get complicated." She walked away. Only after her footsteps faded did Cole breathe again. "That was close," Cole muttered. Thissa exhaled slowly. Her hands trembled for just a second before she hid them. 6 months, Cole said quietly. "Very specific." "Vague lies attract questions," Thissa replied. They finished loading in silence. No alarms, no sirens. That scared Cole more than anything else. Back on the ship, Cole powered up systems fast. "We leave now," he said. "Yes." The Meridian's gambit cleared the docking ring and jumped to FTL. Stars stretched into light. Cole leaned back in his chair, heart pounding. "They know," he said. "Yes." "How long until they act?" "They already have." The proximity alarm screamed. 3 ships dropped out of FTL behind them. Sleek, fast, armed. "Hunter class," Thissa said. "They want us intact." Cole laughed bitterly. "I don't feel intact." Thissa moved into the co-pilot seat like she had always been there. "They expect us to run," she said. "That means we have options. They expect a cargo ship. That's their mistake." Plasma fire streaked past the shields. The ship shook. "Any bright ideas?" Cole asked. Thissa pulled up a tactical display. "There is a nebula ahead. High radiation, sensor interference." Cole grimaced. "That thing eats ships." "Yes," she agreed, "which is why they won't expect us to enter it." Cole grinned. "Humans are bad at following expectations." They dove toward the nebula. The hunters followed. Cole cut engines suddenly. The ship drifted. The hunters overshot. Cole slammed power back on and turned hard. The Meridian's gambit screamed in protest. "Cargo?" Thissa asked. Cole checked the hold. "Say goodbye to profits. Survival is more valuable." Cargo containers blasted free, spinning through space. The hunters scattered. The nebula swallowed them all. Inside, sensors died. Lights flickered. Cole flew blind. Thissa adjusted shields, calm and focused. "They've lost lock," she said. Minutes passed. Then silence. Stars reappeared. Empty space. They had escaped. Cole let out a shaky laugh. "Still think you chose the wrong human?" Thissa looked at him. "No," she said softly. "I chose correctly." Cole leaned back. The syndicate had smiled, and now they were angry. That was worse. Humans don't fight fair. The sound came first. Not an explosion, not a gunshot, just a creaking groan that echoed through the hull of the Meridian's Gambit. Cole Rean's hand jerked toward the controls, instinctively pulling the ship away from the source of the noise. A low hum filled the cabin. "Worse than I thought," Cole muttered under his breath. Thissa's eyes flicked to him, but she didn't ask. She already knew. The ship had taken damage, not from the nebula, not from the chase. The Meridian's Gambit was broken. Another groan, another shift in momentum. "Shields?" Cole demanded, his voice tight. "Port side critical, starboard compensating at 47%, not enough to hold against another blast." "Not good enough," Cole growled. Another plasma burst flashed across the viewport. The ship jolted hard enough to knock Cole out of his seat. He slammed back into the harness, fighting to regain control. "How long before we're out of range?" Cole spat through clenched teeth. 3 minutes, Thissa answered, her voice calm, "if we make it that far." "We'll make it." But would they? For a moment, Cole's mind went blank. All the years spent running cargo, all the rules he'd followed, the life he'd carefully built around avoiding complications, all those years of saying no to easy money, to slavery, to doing what others expected. And now he was being chased down by 3 syndicate ships with no real firepower to defend himself. Now he was flying a ship that was barely held together, facing a foe that had no mercy. He glanced at Thissa. She was calm. Of course she was calm. She had trained for moments like this, but even her calculated eyes couldn't hide the tension beneath. "They're closing in," Thissa observed, her voice steady. "This will not be a simple escape." Cole grinned, despite the odds. "Good thing I don't like simple." He grabbed the control yoke, pushing the Gambit into a sharp dive. The ship jerked forward, a rapid turn that sent them spinning into the heart of the next asteroid field. "Are you crazy?" Thissa snapped. "Yes," Cole answered, his hands moving over the controls with practiced ease. "But so are they." The fighters followed. The syndicate was relentless. They didn't hesitate. They didn't care how dangerous it got. They just wanted their prize. Another blast struck the ship's hull. The shields flickered, but held. 2 minutes until docking point, Thissa said, her voice barely audible over the hum of the ship. "We can't maintain this speed for much longer." "We don't need to maintain speed," Cole replied, his face set in determination. "Just need to be unpredictable." He flipped the auxiliary power switch. The ship's movements went erratic, throwing them into an even deeper dive. The pursuing ships couldn't keep up. But Cole knew that wouldn't last. They would adjust. They always did. And then he had an idea. "Prepare to jettison the cargo," he said. Thissa blinked. "What?" "We'll scatter their targeting. Debris will throw them off." Thissa hesitated for a fraction of a second before she nodded. "Understood." Cole hit the emergency release. 4 containers burst free from the ship's hold, spinning out into space. The pursuing ships broke formation immediately. They had to. The debris forced them to choose between targeting the containers or continuing after them. The syndicate was fuming. Their mission was simple: get to Thissa. Cole knew that if he could keep the pressure on, if he could push them just far enough, he could get away. 40 seconds until we're out of range, Thissa said, her eyes scanning the control panel. "But we're running low on fuel." Cole knew that. "We'll have to make it work." Another burst of plasma came for them, but this time the ship wasn't there to take it. It slammed into a nearby asteroid, just missing them by inches. The shockwave sent them spinning again, but this time they had a clear path ahead. "Now or never," Cole said, gripping the controls. The ships that had been chasing them scattered like cockroaches in the light. The Meridian's Gambit shot ahead, slaloming through the asteroid field, forcing the syndicate to lose their lock once again. Cole pushed the engines to their limit, guiding the ship out of the field and into open space. "We made it," Thissa said softly. "We did." But Cole's smile didn't last long. They had escaped for now, but the syndicate was still hunting, and they always hunted to win. When survival becomes a choice. The silence after the chase was worse than the noise during it.